Hey, good morning. It is Tuesday. It could be Friday. I don't know. It feels like it's a Friday because I don't want to go to work tomorrow. But that's another story. I am here on this lovely Tuesday, and well, what are you talking about? The title. The title says it's Tuesday. TeamView. What are you talking about? I totally didn't just update it. Anyway, it is Tuesday. I'm here as I just do almost every day when my streaming rig is working. It failed me yesterday. It wouldn't run anything, and it required updates, and so it did a bunch of updates during the stream instead of letting me do anything fun. I am in the market for a new PC, a new streaming PC for this office, and I am really struggling to find one. There's so many choices. Good morning, Ruyans. Good morning, Katal. There's so many choices that I'm really struggling with this. Too many processors, too many motherboards, too many types of RAM, too many cases. I want something that looks awesome, obviously, but I also want something that's going to get the job done and that's super quiet. So, yeah. That's what I'm going to have to figure out here at some point. I also have, I pre-ordered another one of these beams, these lights. I pre-ordered another one so that shelf above will get the love. And I ordered some blacklight LED strips, because you can see I have that LED that's hanging over those guys. They're kind of glowing over there. I got a new one. Venom's down there on the end, but he's not getting any LED, he's not getting any blacklight love. So I'm going to take that light down and put some blacklight strips up instead, and I think that will look cooler. So it's one of those days. We're gonna get back into. Do we want to get back into the casino? Is that what we want to do today? There's been a lot of talk about tracking my pop collection, my baseball card collection, and figuring out ways to. Black Lives Matter. Finding ways to allow somebody to basically have their collection on Alexa. Hey, do I have this one? I think that would be pretty awesome. But I need to figure out how I would do that and how much customization I really need to have. So, what do you guys think? Those of you that are here early, should I go continue working on poker, which is a slow slog for me right now, or should we start a whole new skill? Tech with Turbinator. Wow. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Or should I build something that like is a collection management skill? Ruyans, there's so much. And the poker is actually done. I need to change the layout a little bit, but the poker's pretty much done. But then I need to do it for slots, and I need to do it for roulette. It's just slow. Hi. Good morning, Tech with Turbinator. I gotta say, I think I'm starting to see myself looking thinner. I don't know if you guys have noticed it all over the months, but I'm seeing a different person when I look at the camera. Anyway, we are here. Let's figure out how to let's start something new. I want to finish this poker thing for sure, but I need a break. I need something new fresh to work on. So let's go over here. We started something like this before. If I come in here and look at my skills, I had well, I might have deleted it. Haha, Surly Dev, that's funny. No, I just mean I'm down. I'm almost down 30 pounds now, which is pretty awesome. I think I'm 28 and a half pounds, and I have about another 25 to go. But I've been on this crazy diet for, wow, it's been exactly 2 months. Today's exactly 2 months, and I'm at 28 pounds down. So it feels pretty good. And so, like, when I look at the mirror, when I look at my video here on screen, I am seeing a different person. Anyway, yeah, 2 stone, pretty good. I don't know the British weight measurement very well. How many stone am I if I'm 205 pounds today? Alexa, how many stone is 205 pounds?
205 pounds is about 14 stone 9 pounds.
All right, 14 stone 9 pounds. 92 kilograms. I'll bet, Ruyans, how many kilograms is 205 pounds? Alexa, how many kilograms is 205 pounds?
205 pounds is about 93 kilograms.
Nice. Alexa, how many kilograms is 233 pounds?
233 pounds is about 105.7 kilograms.
Awesome. So, Ruyans, thank you for making me go metric because I have dropped below 100 kilograms. I was over. So 105 is my heaviest. 105 kilograms is my heaviest ever. And now I'm down to 92. I like that number better, 92. I wouldn't want to be 92 pounds, but 92 kilograms sounds pretty good. Tech with Turbinator. No, Alexa does not spy in. You can know anytime. You can see I have these devices here behind me. And anytime I talk to them, it's more obvious on this guy. But anytime I talk to it, you can see that it lights up. So, Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 10:07 a.m.
So you can see I get that nice blue ring around it. So no, it certainly does not spy. You know exactly when it's listening to you and when it's not. And the mute button is actually a physical mute button, so it actually disconnects the microphone. Yeah, I have. Are you talking about the Pops? It is not a small collection. That's only you're seeing a very small portion of it, actually. Ruyans, as far as this goes, the pins that are here on this map, yes, those are all places that I've been. I track cities, not countries. And so, yeah, there's lots and lots of U.S. cities that I've been to. Lots of U.S. cities I haven't been to. But, yeah. Oh, excuse me. It's been a... Ruyans, are you in Paris? Where are you? Melbourne, yeah, I have been to Melbourne. I've also been to Sydney. I've also been to Brisbane. Did those all in one trip. So I flew into Sydney, then we flew to. It was a work trip actually. I was there. No, I guess it was 2018. Now time is escaping us. But I was there for a 3-city tour of Alexa development. So I don't know if you ever got to meet. Ruyans, did you ever go to any kind of like Alexa development events that were there in Melbourne? Melbourne. Because there was a woman there that I worked with. Her name was Ozzy Farjad, which is like I love traveling internationally. You meet a brilliant Iranian woman living in Australia. Anyway, she was doing Alexa evangelism like I do here in the States, but there in Australia, and so I got to go there and basically train her, teach her how to tell the stories, how to teach, how to do a lot of that kind of stuff, and she just took off and went running with it. And then from that, she grew into another role, and now she is, I believe she's moving to Seattle. She took another role, I think, on the AWS team, so she's fantastic. Really big fan of hers. Haven't talked to her in a while. I should probably reach out. Anyway, we were going to build a skill that is a collection skill. And I thought it might be pretty fun to start from scratch, both on data and on a skill. So let's start with a new workspace here in Airtable that we're going to call Funko. And we're going to come in here. Let's see. Tech with Turbinator, I used to have a chatbot running. I don't have it right now. But I used to have a chatbot running that could play a bunch of sound effects on the stream. We will be revisiting that, but it's not there right now. I probably should pull those down. Twitch doesn't make it easy to disable things. You have to delete them, and so I haven't deleted it. But yeah, we used to have a library of like 100 or so sound effects. Actually, it was like 1,000 sound effects because it was all of the Alexa sound effects that you can use when you're building Alexa skills. So yeah, that's not there right now. In fact, most of the commands that I have built in with the Blanken Points engine on Twitch here, most of that stuff is not running right now. We have too many bots. We built too many things. So anyway, let's think about how I could build a collect. In fact, let's not even call this Funko. Maybe we could try and make this generic so that people could use it. So let's make this rename. We'll just call this collection. Alexa. There's a sound in there I like. What about election? No. Collection. What do you guys think about that? Collection. I don't think that really works, but we'll just call it Alexa collection. Okay, and then in here, what kind of templates do we have? Do they have like a collection tracking? I don't think they do. Do they have hobbies? Hobbies. Book catalog. No, that's more like books I want to read. Sneaker collection is kind of what I'm thinking. Let's see what this is. Let's see. Put your best foot forward, but it's actually like we have different kinds of styles. I think I want to do my own custom thing. I don't need their template. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so we'll just create one from scratch, and we'll call it Funko. That's fine. Funko's kind of a bluish color. We'll go with that. And I don't know what I use for an icon. Would be great if I could have a Funko figure silhouette or something, but do they have anything that looks like a toy? Not a lot of good options here. We'll just do this. Okay. Is there a statue icon? No, they have a very limited set of icons here for Airtable. I wish there were more, or I wish that I could use custom icons, but that's okay. This is fine. I want to create a new workspace. Yes. No, that's not. Stop it. Delete that one. Okay, so let's go in here and let's talk about what we're going to do. So table 1, we're going to call this figures. And then we probably will have another table which is like series. So I can see like how many Star Wars ones do I have or whatever, right? Those will be the series that I have. What other aspects? We could have an exclusive. We could also have properties. This would be things like gold chrome, right? I have a bunch of those that are gold chrome. Or we have, what's another good example? Inside the figures list, we would also want to have, this will probably be record ID. That seems like the right way to do this. So we'll do a function formula that is record ID. And this will be number. They all have a number associated with them. An integer. And then we'll need a series, so that's going to be this. Allow linking to multiple records. Could they be in multiple series? I don't think so. Save. So a series would be like Star Wars or Marvel. I like this, Ruans. What about variants? Yeah, we should have a chase. And this could be a checkbox. We could have release year. No, that's not what I wanted. I want a number. And this is going to be release year. So that'll be an integer. So chase is when there's a variant, like somewhere. This guy is a variant. This guy is a variant. They're the chase versions. Okay. So we have their number. We probably need their name, right? That would be a useful thing to have. We'll call this single line text. So it'd be name. Another thing that I might want to have is single line text location. Where am I keeping it? And I'm also going to have a single line text for box location, because I am keeping a lot of the boxes. Oh, you know what? I think I can do that. I see what you're saying. So if I come in here to no, not active mods. No, I think that's one of the ones that auto-resolves, actually. Oh, maybe these are in a different order. Let's see. No. Yeah, it's not in there. Sorry. I guess we'll just have to watch more. My bad for allowing that to happen, but we probably also would like a photo, right? That would be pretty interesting. Image is, and I don't really want it to be called attachments. Images. So we can add images to these as well. Okay, so how should we start? I think I have a couple of here that I haven't opened yet. We'll start with these two. So these are the around the world ones. I've opened these, but this is here. This is Douglas. He is Canadian. They did this around the world series, so that's what he looks like on the box. You can see there's this whole around the world series. So all of that data, we got to figure out places for this stuff. Let's see what else we're missing. So if I do number. Ooh, I set it as an integer, but I want to put 08. It's going to remove the O. But it'll make it harder to sort them by number if I don't. Morning, Mr. Demon Wolf. Alright, so name, Douglas. Series, around the world. Not a chase. Release year 2020. Location. Box location. You definitely can't opt back in. I didn't write any code to handle that specific property. What else, what other data do I need off of this? Anything? I don't really care to keep like the UPC code. I don't think I need that. That's something I can look up anytime. I think that's pretty much it. So as we think about boxing these things, I also got the most recent one, which is a German one, out of this. Let's see, he's got a nice beer and a pretzel. He's wearing lederhosen, nice hat. But that's the Germany one. Yeah, the Aussie one is the koala. I've got them all up here. They're just out of reach though. I'm not loving the direction I'm headed right now. I keep thinking that I want to do this, and then I don't want to do it. Oh, Mr. Demon Wolf, this is just more devices, more device giveaways. Just an Echo input, or not Echo input, an Echo Flex or an Echo Dot. Believe you have one, sir. By the way, did yours arrive safely? I don't know if I ever heard. Definitely do not have enough devices in my house. My wife and I were just talking about this. We might have too many. Might have too many. No, you don't have. Here's the cool thing about Alexa. You don't have to disable all the mics or enable them. So I have them all over the house, one in almost every room. But you don't have to disable the mic. The one that's closest to you is the one that should hear you. And so the other ones will shut up. It's not like they'll all respond. Only one should respond. Oh, Mr. Demon Wolf, I'm so glad to hear that. Happy Christmas to your uncle. All right, we're gonna go back to this, and we're gonna go back to. I think we're gonna go back to the casino. Maybe we'll just take a break from the poker. I feel like I've been working on that for so long. No, it doesn't necessarily know where you are. It's just that it's all about latency. And so when you talk to the device, the microphone gets that signal, it sends it off to the cloud, and if another device does it at the same time on the same account, whichever one gets there first, it'll block the other one, and then just the one that you were talking to. Cattell, no, they will both respond, but check this out. Here, I'll do a quick demonstration. So I'll unmute this one, and I'll unmute this one. They are both unmuted, and now I'm going to talk to them. You'll see that only one of them will respond. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 10:24 a.m.
I don't know which one replied, but only one of them replied. The other one said, "Oh, there's somebody handling this. I'm not going to do it." So that is all happening on the cloud side. So yes, the recording and the signal gets sent out to the cloud from both devices, but one of them decides not to respond because that would be annoying. So that's something they solved a couple of years ago. It was not true when the devices first came out, and people were pretty annoyed by it. Okay, where do I want to go next? We could just try publishing this casino as is. Try and get it out into the world. Get some users. Yeah, but the key, W. Giorgio, is that they shouldn't both reply, right? It doesn't really, like, especially if they're both in the same room, you don't really care which one responds, but you'd only like one of them to respond. See, I feel like if I publish this skill, then I'm declaring the Chatsino portion done, and I don't think that it's done. It's just so much work. Like, the last 10% is so much harder than the first 90. Nice, Mr. Demon Wolf. That sounds about right. It's a good distribution. It'll respond with the one that got there first, so it doesn't really consider whether there's a display or not a display. It just, whichever one got the response first. It does, I agree. I actually have a full Echo in my bathroom. We have we have 2 sinks, and then in between there's like this cabinet tower thing between them. And I put an Echo up on top of that, and it uses the cabinet as like a subwoofer, so there's tons of bass coming out of this thing because it just has this huge echo chamber underneath it. But that works really well. Catal, what are Cal 2 and Cal 3? Let's talk about those. There's also a Cal 1. Here, I can show you. We'll go look at a roulette table like this one. So this is an example of a roulette table. Let me just see the picture, please. Zoom in on this. Okay, so you can see this is what the roulette layout looks like, right? And we have all of the things represented with commands. So we have red and black, obviously. We have even and odd. Those are easy. Then we have top and bottom. That's 1 to 18 and 19 to 36. First, second, and third, those are actually high, middle, low. And then columns 1, 2, and 3, I couldn't figure out a good way to reference these. They're called columns, but they're actually these vertical strips. And so column 1 is the one that has a 1 in it, column 2 is the one that has the 2 in it, and column 3 is the one with the 3 in it. But it's that entire strip horizontally that is the column. So if you bet on column 2, you would have 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, 20, 23, 26, 29, 32, and 35, all covered by one bet. So that is what column 1, column 2, and column 3 are. Hopefully that is clear. Oh, there's always a hair. Always. I live with 2 women with long hair, and I am always pulling their hair off of my body. Always. Okay. Let's get. Yeah, you do the position last. So you bet roulette 20, call 1. What do I want to do? Because the next big step, once we finish this skill, is to rebuild the chatbot casino. Boy. I think what I really should do, what I really should have done a long time ago, if we look at this, is inside the Chatsino, we have this test folder. And we do have some tests, but they're not even remotely full coverage. I feel like more testing TeamView, I'm actually planning on running them simultaneously, so there will be 2 different casinos, and maybe we'll add like weird commands to the new one until it's ready to flip over. Like instead of poker, it'll be Poker X or something, so you can decide which casino you want to use. But I'm trying not to. Yeah, so Catal, I've actually done that. If you would like to try the beta test, just DM me your Alexa email address, and I can add you to the beta. There is a beta running right now, and a number of the people that are here in the chat have had an opportunity to use it. All right, let's think. What do I want to do? I think we need to write some tests. Oh, you already are in the beta. I gotcha. Oh, you mean publish the chatbot? That's certainly an option too, I guess. All right. Since we've been focused on poker, we have this poker play. What are we doing here? I call play once. Once, that's it. Yeah, I think we have a lot more testing to do. Well, the source code is all available. So if anybody wants to look at it, you guys can see all of it. It's at github.com/Jeff Blankenberg. In fact, we even have a couple of issues in here. But this is the place. All the source code is here. Come on. Yeah, I'm using Jest as my testing framework. Well, you know, Mr. Demon Wolf, an alarm clock is just a necessity. Until you have like a robot that's going to come over and nudge you awake, we're always going to have a need for an alarm clock. So we've just found more ways to use that alarm clock. Let's see how our tests go. Are they all still passing? No. I just did this morning. Expect poker evaluator test. Let's go look at that. So in here, God, yeah, I've just broken everything. Because when I call evaluator, so let's go look at the poker evaluator. What does it actually do? Oh, did you close my other file? Because that would be super helpful. Goodness. Okay, so I have my poker evaluator, and I call poker.evaluator, and then I expect result.suit. So if we look at the evaluator, I'm returning suit, which flush. And when I look at which flush, I'm only returning the name . That won't work. That won't work. Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Oh, this is so broken. This is why I should have written many more tests much, much earlier. But we're in a good position now where we know what a lot of the functionality is, so it should be pretty easy to write some tests. But I think that's the grind that I'm going to have to go through, is that I'm going to have to write a whole lot more tests that really help me solve this problem. So I'm gonna break some stuff, but it's a necessity. So when we look at the evaluator itself, and we look at which flush, we should just be returning the suit itself. I don't think that's enough to just solve all my problems, but let's see what we get. And then I will dive in and actually let's see what actually goes wrong here. Are we done? Come on. Look at all the failures I've got here. Okay, let's go back to the top. Skip that one. Craps, skip that. Blackjack, skip that. Poker play. This is an easily fixed one. So let's look at that. This is in poker play test. That one's easily fixed. Now, the other poker evaluator. Looks like I did actually solve that problem. Is it gross out? Wow, it's like raining and hailing outside right now. When I have nothing, I expect undefined. Let's go look at that. Down here at the bottom. I expect it to be undefined. But what I'm actually doing in the evaluator is if it's nothing, yeah, I think I'm gonna jam to some tests. That's where we are. All right, let's go dig into our tests. So we got CD lambda tests, CD lambda, CD lambda, CD test, CD chatsino, CD test. All right, just poker.evaluator .test.js. And it all passes. Okay. Well, that's awesome. So what I think I need to do, like I said, I need to run a ton more tests, but where I need two sides to the tests. I need. I don't know that I need two sides, but the Chatsino needs a lot more testing. So let's think about all the files that are in here and what we really need to do. Because there's just so much logic, and I don't have most of it covered. Play. So if we look at our poker play, I just have this one. I have this one test, which is the user's bet is above the available balance. And if we do this, which obviously is a good one to have, poker play passes. Okay, so we're in a passing state for now, but we have so much more functionality that we really need to look at in poker play. So let me close all these files. And we're going to open poker play. And we're going to open poker play test. And we're going to really get into this. Wintry mix and PA as well. That's I don't know if that's good or bad, but that sounds bad. I'm not enjoying any of this gross weather. Yeah, see, the tests will force me to rethink these, which are working, but aren't really done well. So let's think about this. I call into play. I want to make sure that my wager is valid. So let's look at the cashier is valid wager stuff. So I think one of the keys to this is we can get rid of this test. Now I'm going to leave it here, but I'm going to comment it out because this isn't something that I should be testing there. This is something that I should be testing in the cashier.test. So let's see how that one works. If we say jest cashier.test.js, does this just work? Probably not. One failed. Which one failed? Below, oh, so it's just it received below minimum limit, so I just need to change my test. Where do we see negative? Yeah, this should be below minimum limit. Okay. I've really let my testing get away from me, and I think this is going to be the savior. This is going to be the thing that makes everything run a lot nicer. Okay, so let's talk about our cases. God, it just keeps... I got to figure out a way to make that stop. Okay, so if we come back to cashier and we check is valid wager, I'm going to do two things here. First, we're going to come into our test and we're going to create a new file. And this is going to be cashier.isValidWager.test.js. We're going to write some tests here that get us what we need. So we'll bring this in. And this shouldn't need any cloud stuff. Right? This is just checking against values, so this should be easy tests. Okay, so cashier.isValidWager, we're going to need cashier. And then we're going to need a test structure, which looks like this. So take one of those in here. We're going to say see, we're going to need to set user balance stuff. So this is going to be for each, yeah. So this requires me to use data. You just get the dependencies will just stack up on you. Okay. Okay, so that allows me to reset my test user every time, so we have valid data, and so that I don't need this line. Well, no, I do need that line. I don't need this line. All right, so this should work. The user has a user balance of 100. They should be able to bet 10. So if we come in here and say just cashier.isValidWager.test.js, that should pass, assuming there's no errors. Where does set user balance come from? So way down here at the bottom. Try that again. And it passed. Okay, so we have tested a valid wager case. Let's try some other stuff. Let's take user bets minus 10. And I would expect that, looking at the code, I would expect check wager range below minimum limit is probably what we should get back. Let's see. Cool. All right, so what if the user bets more than they're allowed to bet? So let's say they bet 1,000. This should be above maximum limit. Bet. Oh, bet above available balance. Well, that's a good one. Okay, so then this one should be, if we say bets 100, which is something realistic they could try to do because they have 100 credits, this should be above maximum limit. These are the 4 cases, basically, that you can have for being valid or invalid. 3 of them are obviously invalid. And then we have the true case, which is you're within the limits and all that. So, all right. Pass, pass, pass. Give me some green. Awesome. Okay, so we now have that covered. LJ, I'm glad you got it, man. I'm glad it arrived safely. Hopefully it was in good condition. I try to wrap those things up pretty well. But I'm glad the Echo Dot showed up. All right, so if we go back to what we were looking at, not this. We were looking at, and we're going to just work our way through this. We were looking at poker play. And the first thing we did is valid wager. So I wanted to make sure that that was covered, and it is now. And so now, if it's valid, then we're calling active game. Do I need to test all these data things? I don't think so. They're just retrieving data. And the poker evaluator has its own tests. So I feel good about that. And then we have this result. So this is going to be tougher to test because it only happens in certain cases. So we'll actually have to have them start a game. Okay, poker play test. Let's talk about building some tests in here. So the first one is going to be returns an active game when user has an active game. Async Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're before each test, we are resetting our test user, and this reset literally deletes all of their data. So it gets rid of any achievements, any games, any bets, any everything. So we can be confident that for each test that we run, we're running in this really nice sandbox where nothing exists. So I can say const result is poker.play, and I want to bet 10. Because we now don't need to worry about invalid bets. We can just test that the valid bets are working. And I have my user, and I have my bet of 10. Now, I don't really care about that, so we're going to call this game start. So this is just me creating a game. Then, what I want to do is say const result equals await poker.play user 10. Now, what this case should give me is, hey, you already have a game, so I want to return that game to you. I don't want to start a new game. So, we should be able to say, we should be able to take some of these, and let's think about what these actually look like. So we would expect the wager to be 10, and this is where we're going to build out some logic for thinking deeply about where did my leaderboard go? It's there. Why isn't it here? Just noticed the leaderboard isn't working. So weird. I don't know why that happened. Okay, so we need to check all of the things that we care about in a better way. And I'm only focused on getting the test to pass right now. I'm going to have to go back and fix the skill, and that's okay. So I have a user, and I have a wager. Let's see what else we have. We have a result, and it shouldn't be called result. It should be called... hand, is really what it should be called. So we're going to expect result.hand, but how do I evaluate that? Because I don't know what it's going to be. It'll be some randomized thing. Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm going to end up. It's not exist, but there's a... Is it to exist? No. I'll have to look at the jest. I don't... yeah, I guess I could say result.hand... hold on 1 second, everybody. I'm going to jump to the loading screen for just a second. I have a weird phone call coming in. That was an urgent reminder about my vehicle, everybody. It looks like there's an extended warranty that I can get. Man, I'm expecting a couple of calls from numbers I don't know. So I'm in that weird time where I've got to answer the phone even though I don't want to. I guess I could do result.hand.length to be 5 because they should have cards. I guess that's a thing I could test. This is going to become hand. This is going to break everything, literally everything, but that's fine. Then we have deck. Then we have... I'm okay with outcome. I think outcome's okay, but this is basically... this one's going to be active game. I don't know what to expect for the outcome. Oh, you got a free cruise trip, Kevin Evans? Man, lucky. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I guess there's a setting on my phone that is silence all calls from numbers you don't recognize. But when you have like a new doctor or something calling you, like you just have to keep it open. It sucks. All right, well let's see if this all works. Let's at least run this test. I think that should all work. And it passed. Oh, I love when they pass. Oh, I'm running the wrong test. Jest. And we're doing now poker.play.test.js. Okay. What am I messing up here? Cannot read property outcome of undefined. This was the issue that I was worried about earlier. So on line 41, I shouldn't even be on. Oh, because of it's the first time. And this is because I just removed a thing. Man, there's so many moving parts. Okay. So the poker evaluator, I just did this. Outcome, undefined. This will solve that problem. But then it's going to break a different test. See, that one passed. But if I go back to the poker evaluator test, I'm expecting this to be undefined, but it's actually going to be outcome undefined. Let's test that. Just poker.evaluator.test.js. Typos. Expected So when we have nothing, we're returning an object that has an outcome of undefined. Is that the issue? No. Expect result. Oh, well, that's also part of the result.outcome. This makes more sense than to just test it against undefined. Okay. Now let's just back up to No, keep it going, Ruins. I appreciate your feedback and thoughts. Sometimes you steer me in the right direction. And even once is a gold mine for me. So don't hesitate. Ask questions. Push on things. I like it. Okay. So we have this. We have user, wager, hand, deck, outcome, and status. Is that enough? Because what do I do on user, wager? We can change this to hand, deck, outcome, and status. We have that there too. But if we look at hold, this one returns user. See, like wager's not even in here. But I'm sure we know it because we have their active game. We do. So these should all match. User wager. I don't know how I get wager. It's in the game. If the active game length is greater than 0, which means they have an active game. What's the else on that? Oh, no active game. Okay. So once we have our active game, active game 0 fields and if we look at our data, here, game, I don't know the wager. I don't know the wager. Do I have to go get that data here? I don't really want to go get it if I don't need it. But this is why they started wait, maybe I do have this. If we look at wagered amount, I'm getting the active game. I could say wagered amount. Yeah, we'll use wagered amount. So then I have it. Wagered amount, comma. Okay. What is action? Oh, right. Action, suit, and value are the things that tell me about when they hold, because we're in the hold case. So let's just take those for a second. User, wager, hand. I feel like I should still have deck. I'm going to get that, though. User, wager, hand. So when you hold something, here's the problem that I'm running into. The user taps on something or they ask to hold a card, and they tell me the suit or the value, or the suit and the value, and I receive those values. And then what I want to be able to tell the user is, hey, you held this thing. But I don't actually do that. What I do is just go, if I go look at how I respond to the user, like in the Alexa side. So poker, hold, intent. I don't actually use that data. What I use instead is I get all of the cards they have, and I just look at whether or not they're held or not held. So I don't tell them specifically, hey, I held this card for you. All I do is show you the 5 cards again and tell you which ones are held. So I don't even really need to return that. It feels like the right thing to pass back. Anyway, that's not our focus right now. We want to make sure these are working. And now we need a before draw test, because the other one is passing. This is working. I have a hand length. What else am I not testing? That's the thing I was supposed to look at. Play, outcome, and status. I can't test outcome because it could or could not have a value, and I can't predict what it's going to be. But we're testing the things we care about, so that's fine. So let's write another one. And this is going to be returns a new game when user starts a new game. Okay, so we can get rid of this one. And this should be before draw. Hand length, bet is 10. Users being passed back. What else is the deck? Oh yeah, we didn't test deck. We could do that too. Hand length. Expect result dot deck dot length. Dot to be 47. We can carry that through. And they passed. Okay, cool. So I have my 2 tests for poker play. That's really the only 2 outcomes. No, we have a third one, which is... No, we don't. That's for when it's not valid. Hey, Goldzula, good morning. That's for the is valid check, right? Yeah, we're returning those values. So it's the user, the wager, status, minimum, maximum. Okay. So awesome that we have those tests. Poker play feels a little bit better, a little more robust. We don't need all of these. It's too much. Stop it. What I'm doing is getting a bunch of tests in order, which requires me to break some code. I don't have nearly enough test coverage, Goldzulu, and so I'm going back and really rethinking my testing so that this stuff all works. Because I have a lot, like personally, I have a lot of uncertainty about this code right now. There's a lot of things that I just don't have confidence in, and I need to have confidence if I'm going to continue moving forward with this. I want this Chatsino module to be incredibly reliable, and the only way to really have that is with testing. So poker play is good. The next one I want to look at is poker hold. So that's cashier. Let's look at poker hold. Talk about what happens in here. So if the active game length is greater than 0, well, okay, so let's start there. So we can close this and we can close this. I've broken so much. We need a new set of tests. We'll use poker play as our example, I guess. Let's do file, save as. And this is going to be poker.hold.test.js. And all of that is fine. So let's talk about close, 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 and close. Okay. So if we talk about what happens in hold, the first thing we want to do is call it without having created a game. So we're just going to say poker hold, but they don't have a game. So we pass in user, action, suit, and value. We want to make sure those values are coming through. So you're using Twitch Studio. Nice, Goldzulu. So I need an action, a suit, and a value. So we'll say how do I want to do this? We don't need this one. And this is returns no active game when there is no active game. That's what happens down here at the bottom, right? No active game. That's the status that I'm expecting. Which means there will not be a deck, there will not be a hand. I guess we could just run the test like that and see what we get. But I need to pass more data in. So I have user,
but I need those other 3 things, which were action, suit, and value. And these are like entire things. So we'll just make this up. Action is going to be discard. I think that's okay to do. Hold and discard, okay. And then what I really need is, let's just go to deck and go to suit. We'll just take a suit like so, spades. We'll pass that, what's next? Suit and then value, okay. Put a suit in there and then we'll put a value. So we're going with the 7 of spades. Hold the 7 of spades is what we're saying. And we want this to be poker hold. Okay, so let's see if that test works. Just poker.hold.test.js. Did I put in, oh, come on. We're gonna pass? And it passed, cool. And I can see that my suits and values and everything seems to be nice and clean and coming in that way. So we have no active game when we try to hold a card and they don't have a game active. We've got a bunch of cases here. Let me just list them out in some comments. We have tries to hold card that doesn't exist. Tries to hold suit that doesn't exist. Tries to hold value that doesn't exist. Tries to hold. Let's see. We'll also have to have drop card. That is held. Tries to drop card that isn't held. Tries to drop card that is, no, sorry, tries to hold that is already held. And then this is some interesting stuff. If we think about how this will actually work, we have future features. Tries to hold the important cards. Like hold the pair. That's for future. We don't have any of that functionality built now. I don't know that we will build that functionality, but it's kind of cool if we could do it. Okay, so let's get into some tests. So that one's easy. This is tries to hold without an active game. And I guess that's what the test titles are for, but all right. Tries to hold a card that doesn't exist, but they do have an active game. So the first thing we need to do is say const game equals await poker.play user 10. That gets us a game created for the user. Then we need to try to hold a card. And we're going to say we want to hold. And again, we don't know. This is a test that could potentially fail sometimes. Because what if that card is actually there? So I actually need to check and see. What's actually in their hand. I hate writing a ton of logic in tests, though. Well, let's just use it for now. We'll just say that we're aiming for the 7 of spades. And we would expect the result when we do it successfully. The status will be this. So let's just start there, and then we'll expand on these tests. Please pass. Failed. Interesting. Poker hold line 41. Okay, so cannot read property value of undefined. So we are going out and getting their game. We're getting to line 41. There's no property value of undefined, and we're talking about just see what we get here. Okay. So I have 5 cards in my opening hand that have a suit of value and a held property. But down here, on line 42, if suit 0, that's not actually in the code, is it? Oh, right, okay. So I understand why those are zeros. If the suit that we passed in matches the suit of the card that we're currently looking at in our loop, and then do some stuff. And you're saying that my opening hand value, here we gotta be deeper with this. I love this syntax, but it doesn't get me everything I want. Opening hand, JSON dot stringify opening hand. Okay, let's run that again and see what jumps out this time. Now you're saying that I don't know what my incrementer got to, but it's saying that it doesn't have .value.id, but it does. Each one of those has a .value.id. For I is 0, I is less than opening hand length, so that would be 0 to 4, which is what I want. Okay, let's I let's see where we get on I. I don't. I don't see why this is happening, but. So we got I is 0, so it's failing on the first one. Am I misinterpreting what it's telling me is wrong here? It's saying cannot read the property value of undefined. The suit that I'm passing in doesn't have a value. Is it that? Is that the issue? No. Cannot read property name. So you're saying that suit, the thing that I passed in, and it looks like oh, because I'm doing something different than the actual skill will. TeamView, should we give something away today? I don't know if we should. Has the chatbot been running this whole time? Yeah, it looks like it has been. Cool. Yeah, we could do it. What do you guys think? So what I should be passing in here is just, I could really simplify this by just saying that I'm passing in the suit ID and the value ID. So let's make our test do what we want it to do. So the suit ID is 4, and the value ID is 7. If I do that, it's most certainly not going to work. But we'll have to change how the hold functionality works. So as we look at line 42, now we're saying if suit don't need any of this. If suit .id and value okay, let's see. This might pass our test. Again, I'm breaking the skill horribly, but this is the right thing to do. And it passed. Okay. So we're going to continue to break this thing as we go through, but it sounds like maybe we should have a little raffle. Give something away. Entries. 7 people. Nice, nice, nice. We've got 7 people. If there's anyone else watching that would like to get into the raffle for an Echo Dot. Ruyans, haven't you already won? Oh, well, I may have marked you incorrectly then. Let's go back. I had you marked as a previous winner. There is an opt-in, opt-out. You don't have to opt in. By default, you are opted in. It's only if you want to opt out or then change your mind. I saw that startup. It's well on its way. Hopefully, we'll get there at some point. So, okay, so let's do this. Let me check it again. Entries. Ruyans, I see you in the list now. We have 8 entries. Are you guys ready? Let's do it. In 3, 2, 1. Zachman, are you still here? Zachman, 231990. Zachman, are you still on the stream? Because you just won yourself an Echo Dot. Let's see if he's still here. Awesome. Congratulations, Zachman. All I need from you is a choice of color. I have burgundy, white, gray, and charcoal. Or I have an Echo Flex if you'd prefer one of these fine devices. Also have one of those. You can pick one or the other, but just send me a whisper here on Twitch and let me know what your mailing address is, including your name. And Zachman, are you based in the United States? I'm just curious. That's not going to prevent you from winning, but I'm just curious. And so I need your mailing address and your choice of color if you are choosing a color. But obviously send that privately. You don't need to tell everyone your address. All right, so let's see if we can get a couple more tests done before I got to go. I have a meeting right at noon. I have shipped 2 already out of the U.S., but they haven't arrived yet. Startup is waiting on his. And there was someone in France who I'm forgetting. Ruyans, I actually thought you were the one in France, but you're in Australia. The problem is it costs about $50 to send them. So, I mean, I've expensed those things, but at some point someone's going to say, why are you spending $50 on postage all the time? So, okay. My test passed. That's all I really care about for right now. We just passed tests. Oh yeah, totally. Here, I can show you the colors. This is gray. So it's a black top with like a gray side. There is, maybe I'm running out of colors. This is charcoal. So it's black with like a dark gray side. There's white. It's white with a white side. And you can see I prefer a lot of the white and gray devices, so they kind of look like that. And then this is the burgundy. This is the only one that has like a real color on it. But you can see it's white topped with like a burgundy edge. So those are the 4 colors. Let me know what you want. Okay, Ruyans. Yeah, just keep me posted. When we get you a win, we'll figure it out. All right, let's do one more test. So I don't love this because the card didn't exist. Is there something I could do in the hold that will, like, let me know that, in fact, we didn't make any changes? Does that matter? If the user says hold the 7 of spades, and they don't have the 7 of spades, I'm going to come back and say, all right, you're currently holding the ace of spades, and you have the 7 of hearts, the 9, whatever. Like, I'm going to give you tell you what your hand is, and I'll tell you what is held and not held. Do I specifically need to say, hey, you don't have a 7 of spades, dummy? Maybe not the dummy part, but do I even need to say that? I feel like it's just fair to say, oh, okay, well, you asked for the 7 of spades. I don't have one of those. So here's your hand again. I'll just tell you what your hand is again and which cards you have held. I don't know, that feels like a better approach. Nightmare Assistant, this is not a democracy here on this channel. And wanting and wishing for a second giveaway doesn't always make a second giveaway happen. So actually make sure my data is still working. If we look at our users, we just had Zachman win, and look at that. He's registered with the time that he won. That's awesome. So then he won't be eligible for future drawings. I don't think that I need that. I think I made that decision before, and I think I agree with my previous self. Okay. So this is for a suit that doesn't exist. What? I need to look at the other side of this. So poker hold and 10. I get these values. And I guess I'm thinking it's undefined. So for suit I can just pass in 4. So these are not right. Makes no changes to hold status when requested card doesn't exist. This one is going to be makes no changes to hold status when requested card doesn't exist. Oh, requested suit. And this is another interesting thing that I could do. So I have, let's do this test also. Expect game.hand to be result.hand. Should look identical. There should be no changes. Let's do the status at the end. So, J Moore, that's a weird question. Oh, you're totally right. I'm not sharing my screen. No, I don't know that I've ever given anyone a serious wedgie. Like, there's been jokes, but never like a serious actual wedgie. That's crazy. So this one should be the same thing. We kind of want this same test. Card hold updated. Let's see what that does. This should break because I'm completely destroying this hold function, but I'm hoping that the first test does pass. They both failed. What was the question you asked earlier, Ruans? It was a good, should you use this instead kind of thing. Yeah, I was thinking this might actually be a good idea. See if that does anything fancier.
I really appreciate your opinion there, Zach Man. You are automatically opted out once you win, so it adds a record to your user record in the raffle database saying when you won, and if you have a won date in there, opting in or opting out won't matter because you'll be excluded automatically. In fact, I can demonstrate that, but we are not doing a second giveaway today. Entries. So you can see these are the people that would be currently eligible, and you should not be in the list anymore. But we will not be doing another raffle today. We will do one later this week, for sure. All right, does that change anything? No, I had marked you as a winner automatically. As I was going through, I was entering the old winners, and I thought you were a winner. So, but you have to be here in the chat today in order to be entered. It only looks at people that have chatted during the stream. And so if you don't show up one day, which is totally fine, people are busy, you're not entered. You're only eligible if you're here and chat during the stream. Does that make sense? Okay, so now we need to go in and fix line 34. And this is where if suit parse int suit equals parse int dot id close, get rid of you. I think that makes our test pass. Yeah, no, I totally understand, Ruins. I don't expect you to stay up super late. As long as you're here and you participated in the chat, you win. It's not a present to win kind of situation. So if you were here and you participated in the chat, I can reach out to you if you don't respond and let you know that you won. Cannot read property name of undefined on line 35. If action equals hold, and if action equals discard, yeah, we're gonna have to change a lot of things. We're simplifying our interface though, and that's important. All right, let's see how our test is looking now. Pass, please pass, please pass, please pass. Go green. Go green. You can do it. Oh. It's saying that the hand doesn't... Oh yeah, that's going to be a troublesome issue. How do I handle those situations where the test won't fail sometimes? What if I just pass in 5? That might be okay. I think that will allow me to pass my test, and it's basically another suit that doesn't exist, so it'll never match any of the cards they have. That's a cheat kind of way to get away with it. Let's see. I just basically create another suit that they could never have, and it works. Okay, so my logic is working, but then I don't have to worry about randomization. So then we'll do this one more time, and then I gotta go for a value that doesn't exist. And so in this case, we're going to say undefined, and then 1, because 1 is actually a value of a card that doesn't exist. My aces are rated as 14. That's their value, because then they rank higher than kings. Okay, makes no changes to the whole test when requested value doesn't exist. This would run faster if I get rid of all those console logs.
One failed. Well, that's not a surprise because I haven't fixed that logic yet. So let's go look at line 26. If parseInt value I think that's it. I do really love test-driven development. I don't do it enough. Sometimes I just want to hurry and make the thing happen. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the console logs here in just a second. But I do love it because I can walk away with this from this saying, my code works. And that is so unbelievably refreshing. So the console logs are in hold here. It doesn't hurt to have those, but the other ones that are like this, that can go away. I don't even need that one. All right, so our tests are passing. We also need to I gotta add some more cases here. User just says spades. User just says sevens. Without drop or hold. Okay, those will have to be tested as well, but I have to go. So we're going to stop here for now. Let's do two things. The first one is, let's get GitHub open here. And we made a bunch of changes. We're just going to commit this stuff. Started completing our tests. Poker is broker. Did I push it? Go. Okay. Code is being pushed. Last thing, let's do a little raid. A little raid action. Why isn't that ever an option that you bring up? I just want to go to the stream manager. Raid a channel. C# Fritz is going to be our winner, I think. So if I do this, what happens? Do you hear me? C# Fritz. Let's send him some love. Oh, also I should tell you guys while you're here. I'm speaking at a conference tomorrow morning. I will still be able to stream, but I'll be speaking at a conference before my stream. Thursday, I will not be streaming because I will actually be the MC for the Live Coders Conference 3, which is on Thursday. And it runs a good chunk of the day. So I will not be streaming on Thursday because I will be emceeing a Twitch conference. Really excited about that. So I'll be here tomorrow. I will not be here Thursday. I'll be back Friday. So let's go. It reminded me because C# Fritz helps run the Live Coders. So with that, we're going to go over and we're going to raid C# Fritz and see what he's up to today. Are you guys ready? All 7 or 8 of us or whatever we got? Here we go. Thank you guys all so much. I will see you tomorrow.